Heavyweight riders. In 5th place, we have Zoe Usot riding Amarillo Dancing Solitaire in a time of 17 hours 47. From her horse competitions online. The buckle for Zoe was sponsored by Horse Competition Online.
I just firstly want to thank my amazing little stock horse that could, because he was just the best, and he did a lot of the ride until we found Anne along the way, which was hey, thanks, which was great. But he did a lot of the ride by himself, and he didn't falter once. And every time you asked him to go, he's like, "Sure, Mum," and he'd just go, and he was just wonderful. And I'd like to thank Ricky and Craig Adam, because for the last 5 years they got me into endurance, and they've put up with me messing up the camp for 5 years. And they've got me through everything, and Craig glues my boots every time, my scoop boots, thank you scoop boots. And they've never come off, and I just trust them and their experience so much. And they got me through as well. My partner Ben, who is here, who doesn't do much endurance, but he knows to stand at the end of the line with my lead rope and my rug and walk my pony for me. So thank you, Ben, for coming. He has a very busy job and he's very stressed out, and he still came, and he's been awake for 24 hours, and he's just the best. And thank you for everyone that's been out at the vet ring, all the stewards and the vets. Everyone's been so lovely, and everyone's just like so happy for everyone, and it just makes it wonderful, and it makes it makes the experience so amazing, and to actually get a buckle again. Sorry, I'm shaking. I will stop now before I damage something.
Congratulations, Zoe. I'm really impressed with your catching skills. 4th heavyweight goes to Bruce Hullett riding Castle Bar Rockabar in a time of 15 hours 47 minutes. And this buckle is a very special, sponsored by Wernie Forsh, who sadly passed away last year. He's the dad of Marcel Forsh, one of our treasured members.
Of the buckle and the sponsors for this whole gathering. The organising committee, I think it's really been quite amazing. Everything's been so great. Apparently even the strappers breakfast I would have come off a leg for. Apparently it was pretty good. So everything's been really great, and I echo the sentiments. The stewards and the vets have all been out in the rain and so on. We're very grateful to all your work with doing that. It's kind of been easy with the weather, so thank you. To my strapper, Adi McIntosh, she was of course great, bossed me around a bit, but that was probably a good thing. To my wife also, who's now lame, she's vetted out lame. She says she wasn't drunk, but I think she was sneaking a few drinks. So thank you to her. And I don't normally thank my horse, he's a bit feral, but he just finds a way to get me through, so I'm grateful to him. So thank you.
Congratulations, Bruce. Do we have a representative from Mariba Arabians here? Sue, if you're on here? Okay, so 3rd place heavyweight is sponsored by Mariba Arabians, and this goes to John Anderson riding Ruo Collie Smoke in a time of 15 hours and 15 minutes.
I'm glad I didn't get the shampoo, because everybody knows my horse doesn't give a shit. But firstly to my horse, he's so awesome. He's completed 5 160s out of 7 that he's entered in. He gave my wife a dream of a Quilty buckle at the last WA Quilty, and has given it to me, this Quilty, so that's just fabulous. People have spoken about the organisation, the number of people, like all of those volunteers today, so ably coordinated by Caitlin on the ground, the vast number of people that have done so much work so that a few of us can go for a bit of an amble through the bush on our horses. It's just awesome. Thanks to Scoop Boots, who sponsored us and kept our feet sound for a couple of years, and have flown all the way over from Tasmania to support us. But mostly I've got to say thanks to my wife Susie, who brought me a love of horses, brought me into endurance. She turned my horse into an endurance horse and then gave him back to me. And she's just been constant all weekend and strapped for me, got the kids roped in, Jake and Shalia, to help out, and I'm just proud of you all and thank you so much.
Congratulations, John. Our third place prizes were sponsored by Pilato. Our second place prizes are beautiful saddle pads from Dixon Smith, Baroni saddle pads with Exhibit A. First place prizes were sponsored by HBA Stirrups, and the laser engraved trophies sponsored by South 32, but also for the first, second and third prizes. Do we have anyone here from Queensland? Okay, anyone present? Do you want to? It's from this next prize is sponsored by the Queensland Endurance Riders Association, and it's for second heavyweight. Norbert Ragney riding Wattle Tree Echo in a time of 14 hours 47.
I won't take long, but don't leave. Firstly, I'd like to thank my... No, I'm going to cry. I'd like to thank my beautiful wife who has worked extremely tirelessly to get this thing on the road. With no exaggeration, on average 3 hours a day for 7 days a week for the last 30 months. And to the rest of the team who have helped her along the way, and also worked very tirelessly to make sure you guys and me had a great time. I feel sorry for Jane, and that's why I'm crying. But she bedded out, and to all the vets who work so hard, but I've got your address. For those who know me well, I'm a nasty bastard. And I've got to thank my fabulous rappers, Rebecca, who also failed to have a start. We had a disastrous, well, we didn't get the horse here. We had a disastrous start, which a lot of people had with a late season and trying to keep your horses fit and everything else. And to Cassie Turvey, who's now gone home and stayed up all night, walked our horses yesterday and did all that work. And then to Sarah Dumbrells as well, and her husband who helped, and Tracy who helped a little bit as well in the vet ring when we strapping area. To the SE, I always say SES, SEC, SES, yeah. They were fantastic, and a lot of us riders really needed to have the water. We needed some help with the holding horses, feeding the horses. They did a fantastic job, and this ride wouldn't have gone ahead without them. To my horse, we had the youngest rider. We also had the youngest horse. He's only, what, 6 months? Almost 7. Yeah, almost 7. And he came as our third option. And,
Sixth option.
Fifth, oh yeah. So anyway, yeah. And other than the fact that I had to flog him to get him around, you know, he was pretty good. But no, he did all the work. He even dragged old Reg around. But, yeah, and without our horses and without the right attitude that the horse has, we don't go very far. So, thank you everyone. Thank you to Jane. Thank you to everyone else. Thank you to the Queensland Endurance Association. Thank you very much.
The next awards are sponsored by South 32 Worsley Alumina, and that's for first heavyweight Christopher Haddon riding Amakai Kalahari in a time of 12 hours 19.
like everybody else, I can't public speak to save myself. Unfortunately, I probably have trouble reading my own writing. Anyway, so I'm going to read it out, and anyway, hope it goes all right. So, firstly, thank you to our sponsors. It's fabulous support. South 32 and Bendigo Bank and just a whole heap of others. Fabulous to have you on board. There's a few other thank yous along the way. So, firstly, to Tony and Otter Grandis, who rode with Kalahari and myself many times in his early years, giving him a grounding in etiquette and other courses around him. To Tracy Lynn, for your help with learning a little about finding and connecting with Kalahari. To Linda Yates, who has on numerous occasions picked up the pieces when Kay and I have parted company. Linda has also been amazing in being a mentor in horsemanship and how to ride a little better, although it's been a hard teaching. It's been hard teaching an old dog new tricks. To Kalahari, I always thought it would be a long time before I said this, and he would have to do something special. Well, Kalahari, you are amazing. Thank you for choosing to carry me and allowing me to be a part of your journey. A huge thank you to the people who have been on the TQ committee, past and present. You have achieved a fabulous TQ event. Many of you have survived over 2 years of planning and organising. Well done. I will single out one person for special recognition. Although many of the TQ committee have put in hundreds of hours, Jane Radley has put in thousands of hours. Jane, you have been amazing. Thank you. This is getting hard to read. Finish. Okay, thank you to Linda Gates it is, for yours and Mary's company in the first leg. Sad we were unable to continue to the end. To Ricky and Stina in the third, fourth and fifth legs. Our horses ran well together. Thank you for your company. I guess this should have gone a couple of lines earlier. So to back to Linda. Linda has an amazing effect on Kalahari. And when Amira headed out, Linda took over staffing Kalahari. I thank you. I think you made a difference, Linda. Thank you. This should have been earlier as well. So also a huge thank you to all people, volunteers, who have given up time and sleep to help run our ride. Thank you to the SES team, who have become an integral part of endurance rides at Collie. Fabulous having you on board.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for those really kind words. Chris made a point about the volunteers, and I think John Anderson did too. We've had a fabulous crew of volunteers this week, coordinated by Caitlin. She couldn't have done a better job, and I wouldn't want her job for the world, so I think that was probably the most difficult job for this week. But I was impressed today, especially because I was actually on the site, not riding. The number of people who came up and offered their help. I didn't know half of them, but they said, "Oh, what would you like done? Where can I help?" And it's like, wow, it was really incredible, and I think it went a long way into making the event really cheerful, and the atmosphere, it was just fabulous. So thank you to everybody who did, even though the smallest thing, it's very appreciated.